Hello, and welcome to another episode of ChaosWorld, I guess. This is my notes on ChaosWorld. Hidden layer. Yeah, I'm not touching the hidden layer. This thing's all messed up. Sorry about that. So, we're going to go over some stuff. So a while ago I talked about building a new game. And actually I do want to do a separate version of them. I've got a couple of different games I'm kind of brainstorming on right now. And I'd love you guys' feedback on it. But I'm also looking at possibly building another interface for Chaos Craft where you guys, the viewers, can edit AI and train AIs using your own Minecraft servers. Be kind of a Minecraft add-on. Ideally, I could reuse it and repurpose it for other things. I don't have internet right now. At the time I'm recording this, I'm actually at a summer camp, which I coach at in the summer, in the weight room. And the reason I can be here is because I am a professional web application architect, and I do build big, large-scale web application architectures that span the world around, servers booted up in Japan and all over the planet. So I can work from basically anywhere. So this is more of a passion thing, being at camp here. So don't get the idea that I'm a rookie in the AI world, but I do code a bit, quite a bit, for many, many years now. Actually longer than I've coached. So, with that said, let's take a look at what I've got here. So, an ERD is an entity relationship diagram. And this is basically, I'm going to add a layer, hidden layer, that's great. Yes. So green. So an ERD defines, like, we're going to have many users, okay? And each user has, this should be a one-to-one. Each user has a 1 or 0, just could be a training account. It also could be a player, which I guess I don't have a player table written out here. So I'm guessing most users will be a player. I might not even need a separate player table, because each user, or certain users will be considered trainers in the game. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go watch the last two videos. I was talking about ChaosWorld. The trainer account is where you're signing up to potentially train AIs, and you can define your own fitness functions using the interface I said in a previous video, and basically trade them, share them, compete them versus each other. You know, we could run contests, but basically you're in charge of training them. So think of it like almost like a dog show competition. You know, you don't actually get to make the move; you get to train them, and you get to send them out there. This is, as a coach, this is very similar to where I coach. I coach an athlete, and then I send them out there, and I don't get to dictate what they do. So this is similar, except this is on a more massive scale. The goal would be to create entire teams of people. So I guess, yes, as a coach, if I was a football coach or something like that, they would be required to communicate. So you train them and condition them using positive reinforcement. But this is generations and generations instead of just, 4 years with an athlete and condition stuff. So though I haven't done my memory one yet, but I'm working on trying to figure out how to add neuroplasticity into here so they can learn on the job, so to say. But you have a trainer, and then each trainer creates it'd be like drills for me, the training room. Okay, so you would create various. They call them drill. I guess we call them drills in real life, but I'm calling them training rooms, where you would then create, some section of Minecraft or something like that, or if I were to do ChaosWorld, you'd be able to create a room there where, you would define some type of fitness function, like how quickly it takes to get from A to Z, or who can gather the most of resource X, or who can kill the most of entity NPC I. That's the training room, and then in there, if you see, you could have various fitness functions that then add up. Why is this? My Apple Pencil's on the fritz. Hope it's not running out of juice. So you got your fitness function there, that then those would add up. And so the fitness function would, you guys, I'll show you in the next drawing what calculates what, but the fitness functions would then be tallied up for each. I guess I should say this is a neural net. So each neural net, and each neural net would have a parent. I should probably that'd be a one-to-many parent. Or we could have two parents, like, mother and father. I know I got horrible handwriting. I'm actually in the weight room working out. My hands are kind of shaky right now, so I wanted to do this to rest up in between sets here. And then so each neural net, or bot, as I currently call them, would then have a training room score. So we could then use that score for each training room and say, okay, this guy's in first, second, third, and training room 1, 2, or we'll go A, B, and C. And so, say, this is your, 95 in there, and, 63 in there, and a 45 in there, and then, and it would link back to certain bots. So that's kind of how the math works there. Yeah. So then from there, you can use those scores to rank them and decide, okay, we want to fork this generation, or we want to, this particular bot, and we want to generate more of it, or we want to release this one into the wild, into the main world to see, into a competition, to see if they can solve an increasingly complex set of problems. But you guys would define the training course. You guys would define the drills that ideally would deal with a variety of situations. And so not all bots are going to be great at all different tasks, so that'll be kind of the fun part here, is that we'll see which bots can be the best at most tasks, or which single bots can be the best at very singular tasks. And then people could submit levels, and you could actually submit your training room to be a competition area, and so we could kind of play against that. So, and this could be with Minecraft. I was thinking about not doing Minecraft because I'm afraid of the legal stuff, but that's kind of where I'm going. So we're going to undo those. So I told you I design large-scale web application architecture, right? Yeah, we already get that, so I'm going to go red. So my immediate thought is I don't want to make you guys pay for stuff. I'm not trying to get crazy rich off of this. I wouldn't mind making enough to make a living and travel the world and continue to do that, which I currently do without having to have any singular clients to answer to. But I digress. I don't want to put this on your guys' heads. A lot of you guys seem interested in running this stuff, which means you guys have a little bit of excess compute power. So what I thought of is that for those of you guys that are willing to you run this software on your own and kind of host your own stuff, you wouldn't have to pay for it. And for the most part, at least it'd be, some type of minimal license or something like that. But I'm trying to do it open source, so we can just get a lot of contribution. But and then there's the people that don't want to host anything, in which case I've got to host it on AWS, which means that this guy down here, might pay for, hosting on AWS, or pay for someone else to host the stuff, in various ways there. So, and what I've kind of got is essential servers there. And I know someone's going to ask, why don't I just go like, the distributed application type architecture, like a crypto type thing, not cryptocurrency, but oh my God, why am I spacing on this? I'm a member of an incubator for this. Dear God, I'm having the worst brain fart, but why am I not going, oh my God. All right, I'll come back to that. I'm going centralized servers right now because that's what I'm going with, and I don't want to somehow be susceptible to 51% attack, and it just seems natural. Now, is this set in stone? No, not at all. Again, please, if you think I'm insane for doing it that way instead of going completely distributed blockchain, that's it, blockchain technology, then by all means post and complain and stuff. Don't complain, but constructive feedback. Or troll me, whatever. So either way, what would happen there is I've got it set up so you could log on to the centralized server, and you could have these bot hosts that would then host the actual bots and the computational stuff in the centralized server. Another reason for centralized servers is it handles updates real well. Could generate the brains and keep track of the brains and all that stuff and send it out to the bots, so the bot host servers. So the bot host servers say, hey, I got room on my server. I need Apple Pen's all up. I need some bots. All right, and then it says, here's your bots. Go run them. And so I'd also say, hey, I need a list of Minecraft servers that people want to host on. So you guys could actually submit your Minecraft servers to be hosts, and I would look at the game options and probably have different bots based on which ones are forced into survival mode versus et cetera, et cetera. So this guy could say, okay, and you could also, if you were running your own bots, or if you say, okay, I just want to use my own game servers, and I had like an environment variable you guys could pass in, or settings in some user interface, and you say, okay, put all the bots that I host for myself on here from this account, and then everybody else's bots you can just kind of assign out to whomever else, game server 2, game server 3, et cetera, et cetera. And then, it would go in there and it would check in just like it does now. It does what's called a pong. I ping it and it does a pong and it says, hey, here's what I'm doing. And then your bot server would then update the stats there. And I would have, in the central servers, and that would have the master list of who's doing the best and eligible and all that stuff there. But all the processing power, which is what's currently holding me back, could then be, besides AWS, sorry about that, could all be done, outsourced to you guys. You guys could host stuff and give a little bit extra comp power to us, as well as the game servers. So that way, right now, we're utilizing my one game server, which can host up to 20 bots, and we usually run about 17 or so, so there's a little bit extra leeway in there. But then I could have a multitude of this increase in the speed at which we figure these things out and giving you guys access to it. Now, the problem with that is say if you guys have a game server and you allow third-party people to log in and they start killing your bots off, well, it's trouble, So it's something, but I can track causes of death, I think. So I could say, okay, that guy is not, that user is not a bot for my thing, it's not an NPC, it's killed by a user. If we track it up on there and say, okay, that's now been blacklisted for public play, but you can still use it for your own thing. So that's a thought there. I didn't draw anything in the swim lanes. I was going to draw a swim lane diagram that was basically like this. And actually now I've got this layer here. It's like I'm talking out loud. I could probably swim lane from here, but that's not important right now. So that's the important stuff. I was thinking about raising a couple K to try and focus on, I got 1 month in there, but we can make that 2 months or something like that. I'm trying to figure out what it would look like. As you can see, I don't really have much in the financials, so I'll have to figure that out. But that is the most recent update. I think the most important stuff here is the system architecture stuff. That I can figure out how to keep costs low for all of us, myself included, and by crowdsourcing there. And the beginning of what's looking like an ERD, initially relationship diagram. Oh, I should probably mention this as well. Random stuff. A .nn file. So I'm working on the concept. Why does it keep doing that? Come on. A .nn file, which is a .neural net file, because right now their brains get more and more complex. I'm just returning a big blob of JSON, and I think I can slim this down. And I also am looking at pen pub signing, so each trainer would have their own pen pub. So think of it like GitHub for those of you guys that have any idea what it is. But basically, instead of having a password and a username, we could be more secure, and you'd have a 256 or 528 or whatever, some type of key that I could get my numbers wrong there. I think my binary math is all right. A key that then you guys could use to stash stuff, and you could encode neural net files, and we could do other stuff like that. But then you could share neural net files kind of open source as well, which could be cool. So it's not just forced between my centralized servers, but that's kind of here and there. We'll see where we go. I have a feeling if I raise money from some outside source, they're going to want me to lock down everything versus being open source, which is what I'm leaning towards right now. So with that said, that is the majority of what I got in my mind right now. I have at least 2 more of these kind of brainstorms kind of plans, and I'm going to keep going on this because I like it. Your feedback is very valuable. Those of you guys that spoke up for the game against, going with the game aside from Minecraft, I wouldn't mind being able to do this for a variety of games. So if you're a gamer and you're building a game, or if you're a game producer and you're building a game and you would like to have some type of technology like this where you could crowdsource the AI in your game, or basically a lot of different stuff. I mean, we could use this for level design and a lot of cool stuff. I got other thoughts on that. Please hit me up in the comments, or hit me up at Ship or Get Off the Pot. There's a whole contact me information with all the other stuff. That's Ship, S-H-I-P, or getoffthepot.com. It's a pun. I need a better blog name. Yeah, if you have any ideas for blog names, throw it out there too. But comment, I'd love to talk to you. We're entering a new world of AI where things are going to change, and I'd like to be on the cutting edge of it. And I'm really passionate about gaming, so I think it'd be really cool to, instead of have procedurally generated stuff, it'd be cool to have survival of the fittest AIs designing games and levels that we never could have comprehended, that are unpredictable, that are different, that evolve, and we come in one day and it's totally not what we expected and totally unique. This procedural stuff is awesome, but it's just barely scratching the surface. So thank you very much. Again, I'm Matt, Schematical, shippergetoffthepot.com. Leave me lots of comments and feedbacks. I love you guys. Thanks. Bye. How do I get out of here? I got to stop ending like that. Take it easy.